Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Elma, the non-tech techie, and today I have this team from Sealit. I have Lazar and Maria, and tonight we will be talking about their launch and product hunt. So they have this new feature called. It's actually not new. I've seen it already for some time, and it's called Secured Spaces. But
I'll say.
this is actually much more because Lazar is going to show us much more features than just secured spaces. Well, secured spaces is not just secured spaces because it's a big thing. Okay, it's like having an encrypted cloud storage. Yeah, for people like me who does not really understand tech too much. So, okay, so here's Lazar, and yes, Lazar, please introduce yourself and your launch. And by the way, they are now available on Product Hunt. You can upvote them. If I hope you love the new features.
Just to be clear, we are definitely collecting as much interest as we can, as much support and feedback, but not upvotes. And you should only really go there and support us if you can. Apart from the guidelines, obviously, we just want to make sure we have the eyes on the product, but not upvotes per se. So go have a look
Right.
if you like it. By all means, support it. If not, then don't. Definitely leave a comment. We like comments if you can. But again, this is more of an informal thing, not a quest for upvotes, if that makes sense. Um,
Yes, that makes
let's
sense.
let's let's get into it then, shall we? If that makes sense, I'm going to share my screen and just talk a little bit about what it is that we do at Sealit. We'll talk a little bit about the use cases for secure spaces and some of the new functionality, why we build it, who is using it, and how are they using it. But before we do that, let me start with a bit of background about just Sealit in general and what it is that we do. So at Sealit, we set out to change the way people think about cybersecurity completely. Instead of building walls and perimeters and plugging holes in those perimeters, we created an entirely new and highly sophisticated encryption identity, which is integrated in your day-to-day business tools and which allows you to effectively and efficiently communicate between your team and your clients. But at the same time, it also guarantees absolute privacy in such a way that nobody, no tech company, not Seal It, no intruders, no governments, nobody else can decrypt any of the communications that you do. So today we're going to talk a little bit about secure spaces, which is obviously a net new feature. But I'm going to start talking a little bit first about how we've enhanced the Sealed Communicate features, which, if some of you guys remember, are the Gmail, Outlook add-ins that provide one-click security directly from where you work, and kind of how we enhance them not only to provide the best level of security, but to provide also better business efficiency and engagement from your client side. Let's get into that first. So in my Outlook, you will notice that if I'm composing, for example, a secure message. Now, this could be anything, from a healthcare provider sending medical records through to a legal company sending legal documents, real estate, and so on. We have a lot of digital agency clients as well. Typically, one thing that is quite common as a use case is that when you need to send a secure proposal to a particular client, you want to do it by email, but you also want to be able to monitor engagement from your client. You want to be able to see who is accessing what and what they're doing exactly. So if I go back to my email here, all I really got to do is click Sealed Secure, and the new functionality will display here. This is available in Gmail, in your portal, on your mobile app, as well as in Outlook online, as well as Outlook installed. So what's changed? A couple of new features we've added is the ability to select whether or not to encrypt the body. The reason for this is sometimes, if you're sending something like a proposal, you don't really care about the body of the message. You want it to go as normal HTML. But what you want to do is you want to be able to encrypt the attachment so that the attachment, the intellectual property in the attachment is secured and it's monitored for yourself. Require authentication is a new feature that's quite popular. So this is used when you're sending something a little bit less secure. You just want to basically say, all they got to do is click on this link to download the attachment. They don't have to authenticate, but this message to self-destruct in 3 months or so to ensure that it's gone. And also you have still end-to-end encryption because we hide encryption keys within the email itself. Really, really frictionless, a way to share anything from large files, anything you need to keep secure using this. And Notify and Read is actually quite popular now. We've added this because what it does is it uses a push notification on your mobile app, so that as soon as your client reads that proposal, reads that message, you get notified on your mobile app and you're able to react. So for example, if you're sending a sales proposal, you're able to then get notified and obviously follow up. And if you're actually just tracking something very, very highly confidential, you want to get notified anytime anybody tries to access it, so you have full control over this data, and that's available now directly in your mobile app through this feature. Secure Spaces is a whole new feature set, which we'll get into, but it's also integrated with your Sealit Communicate now. Because if I'm adding, for example, a particular proposal, I'll be able to add files that circumvent the attachment size limitation. So I can go and add, larger files directly into the system, and in doing so, basically skip having to use third-party tools like WeTransfer or OneDrive, things which are inherently much less secure. But here, what I'm able to do also is say, well, I'm going to email this, and it's going to be available to my client by email, but I'm also going to make it available in the Secure Spaces repository, so that next time when they log into their data room, the files that I've sent them, emailed them, will be organized in the cloud setting. And lastly, what we've added as well, something inspired by Mission Impossible, the concept around destroying messages. So basically saying, I want you to destroy this message in 3 months, and everything that is in this message, including the attachment, will be completely wiped out. And the reason you want to do this is that it's good business practice and a security practice not to leave data lingering around longer than it's necessary. So for example, if you don't expect this proposal to be valid after 3 months, then there's no reason why it would sit in somebody's inbox, so that some competitor down the line could look at your proposal and get the data out of it. Very simple, very, very elegant, and obviously based around a lot of user experience research. Now, before I click send and show you what's going to happen next, I'll pause there and see if there's any questions that you've received during my talk. Are we still good to go?
Yes, we are still good to go. Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so some people have already voted you on Product Hunt, so that is really cool. Now, actually, there is one question here about the Secure Spaces, but you haven't been into that yet, because right now, okay, they say that Secure Space feature is really great, but can we also please view the files right inside the Secure Space?
Yep, we're going to get to that in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click send, and you'll notice that one thing will come up, this warning sign that we have. This is an additional feature we've added as well, where apart from encrypting and securing, we're also going to try to predict if it seems like you're sending it to the wrong person. So in a case, for example, Andrew, you may have an Andrew that's in Gmail, but you also may have an Andrew that's at a work address. If you have a Gmail address, then presumably maybe the wrong one, so we'll warn you. But in this case, it is the right person, so we're going to click send anyways and let the email go. So let's get into the Secure Spaces that we'll be able to pick up. Right, so basically, before I show you Secure Spaces, just really quickly, the email Andrew will receive, let me just double check this is the right one, is here. And because Andrew's a net new customer, what's going to happen is they're going to click on Read Secure Message, and they're going to be presented with two options. The first option is to scan a QR code, and the second option is to set up a PIN. Now, the reason these are here is that scanning the QR code creates a trusted sealed identity on your mobile phone app, which means you never have to remember passwords, and you can simply digitally approve things you need to do. And setup PIN is there for all the people who don't have smartphones but still want to be able to access your files. Now, each one of these doesn't require a setup. In fact, I'm just going to scan the QR code now on my phone and set up Andrew as the client. And you'll notice it says authenticating. And obviously, the only thing I'm going to get here is a request to decrypt. I'm going to say, yep, this is me. I am Andrew. And now I'll be able to access the documents directly in the browser, as well as a reply and establish a two-way secure communication channel with the partner who sent me these documents. Now, if I go back into Sealit, obviously everything is monitored, so the monitoring is there, so I can see exactly whom's opened the email where and from where. So this is still there. But the Secure Spaces module is here on the left-hand side, and it's the new thing we'll be talking about. Now, the way it works is it's super easy and simple to set up for clients to be able to create a secure collaborating space to exchange files on a zero trust encrypted way, in a way that's still monitored. For example, if I click New Secure Space, I can say, for example, Andrew Documents. I can select the parent space, which we're going to say 𝗦𝗲𝗰𝗂𝗫𝗍𝗂. And the cool thing is, as well as we can select where we want to host the space. So if you're doing business and your company is, for example, in Singapore, but your client is in Europe, and they require their documents to remain in Europe as you're collaborating, as you're doing proposals, as you're doing anything else, no problem. As you create the space, even though it's part of a different area, you can say, for example, West Europe, or in this case, we'll say United Kingdom. And this means that the secure space documents for Andrew, all of them that you share either by email or by the portal, will be available in that country and be compliant with GDPR or whatever regulation is looking after them. Easy enough. Set up who's going to be the administrator, and then also set up who can have access to the space and what they can do. So in a couple of seconds, as you can see, we've created a zero trust workspace for sharing documents that's hosted in a particular region where our clients operate, and then we can access directly from the portal, and our clients can access directly from the portal. Now in here we have a couple of our samples. So basically the one we've emailed today is here, and it's available for us to download. But in general terms, when you're adding new files, it's really as simple as just going and saying, I'd like to add these attachments in, and of course they'll be encrypted with zero trust, so that literally nobody else other than your collaborators who have access to this space and you will be able to decrypt the data. Not us, not the cloud host. Nobody else can be able to decrypt the information that's here. Now, as an administrator in the secure space, you have a couple of options. You have obviously access controls, where you can control who has access to enter this, but also you have activities monitoring, which actually gives you a map view and understanding of exactly who has been accessing documents in your secure space and from where in the world, which also gives you an understanding of certain risk events, such as unauthorized access or access from countries where you don't operate and you don't do business. So that's secure spaces in a nutshell. Very simple to set up, extremely secure, zero trust, client, file, share, and collaboration. Any questions so far that came into the chat while I was speaking?
No, the only question is that they want to view the files right inside the secure space. So that's it.
So currently, we allow downloading of the documents, and we also allow secure, upload the documents which are pre-encrypted, so that they kind of carry their encryption with them. But we are building in the near releases. The first thing we're building is a PDF viewer, and then an open document viewer for all the Microsoft documents, so that you can actually prevent download and just allow people to view within the secure space itself. And that's coming up, I believe, in the next 2 months of development.
Okay, that's really nice.
All right, so a couple of other things. Of course, as before, you can modify your templates so that everything is color-coded and set up for your business. You're able to then obviously brand all the emails that come out. And the other nice feature we've added actually is a Slack add-in, which is the ability to encrypt and decrypt Slack messages, just as you would any email. And the way you do that is you basically type Sealit, and then you type the message you want to type. And when you're decrypting the message, you'll click Decrypt Me, and that will trigger an event that will, let me just bring up my app mirror. They will ask you to prove your identity, which basically means you can share confidential data directly in Slack with the knowledge that you are literally the only people, the recipient and sender, who can decrypt it. It doesn't matter where it's hosted and how it's hosted. It's so long as obviously the identity is required before you're allowed to decrypt anything that goes through Slack. So that's it for me for the main features of the updates. Of course, the big updates are the add-in enhancements, the secure spaces and the secure space integration, and the Slack is a nice to have, which is free with all the plans. You're able to use that. Now, okay, as a reminder.
And by the way, even if I have a free version of Slack, I can use Sealit.
Yeah, if you have free version of Slack, you can use Sealit all the same. In fact,
awesome.
you don't need a paid version of Sealit to use Slack. You can use Slack all the same. Anyways, all you have to do
is that so?
Yeah, Slack is kind of a nice add-on. We have it for free. You can go download it here. It's in beta, so we're kind of playing around with it. It's super fun for us to kind of play around with it, and it kind of gets you that identity like experience of the identity. So we are offering it for free for now. It may change, but that's kind of, once you sign in, you just go download it here, set it up for your company, and then you're able to use it as you progress, which is great. But that's it. The main obviously the main addition to the features is the collaboration secure spaces and the very significant, I should say, enhancements to the add-ins, which allow for all this extra flexibility on how you decrypt and encrypt.
Cool. That's really cool. So for me to use it on Slack, I can use a free version of Slack with the free version of Sealit, and I can use everything straight away, right?
You got it. You got that entirely right. You
Awesome.
can use free this, free that, and you're good to go.
Well, that's very generous of Sealit. Yeah.
Give it a try, and remember, whomever wants to try the full Sealit functionality, you can put your credit card. You will have a 30% discount on Product Hunt. We do have a 30 money day back guarantee with no questions asked, and we do encourage you obviously to try it, because the best way to really figure out how easy it is to get secured with Sealit is to give it a shot. Connect your email is one thing, install the add-in, and you're pretty much done. Then you can actually do all the things that I showed you: monitor, client engagement, share large files, encrypt things that really need to stay secure, and sleep well at night. So
okay, when you say large files, you do have a file size limit, right?
Yes, we do. Currently, it's 200 megabytes because we're experimenting with some scalability, which is far beyond obviously what you can send by email today. However, we are enhancing this in the next couple of weeks to be 5 gigabytes. So you'll be able to send a 5 gigabyte file directly from email, or multiple 5 gigabyte files directly from email. Without having to leave your email. So you will be able to do that directly from Gmail or Outlook, or from the portal in the secure space, without, again, risking that file being compromised, because it will be encrypted end to end.
Nice. That's really, wow, I'm blown away. This is really good feature. So in the next 2 weeks, you will have 5 GB multiple files inside an email that you can send securely across to your contact. So that's
I mean, most people won't have that. Most people have like a file which is a gigabyte or a video or something like that. It's completely fine. You'll be able to use Sealit to send that file over and not worry about because you can set the self-destruct when you're sending the file, and you can also do things like encrypt only the file, or require authentication or not. So those are options which are nice. But yes, you'll be able to do that. 5 gigabyte files within the email.
Okay, and one more thing is when it comes to the file. Okay, so there is a file size limit. How about your cloud space limit, your secured space limit?
That's a great question, and we've actually just worked that out in the billing. So when you go and select the plan, you'll be able to see what's it called. I'm on the lifetime deal plan here, of course, because it's our demo environment. But generally speaking, you'll see there it's 100 gigabyte per user on the Secure Spaces plan, and it's 10 gigabytes per user on the Communicate plan, which is enough for all the communications and emails and Slack messages that go through. But if you have Secure Spaces plan, it's 100 gigabytes per user.
Per user. And sorry, one more question. Okay, before I had these, say I purchased Sealit from AppSumo previously, so that license now comes with Secured Spaces, right?
That is correct. You have the full Sealit Collaborate Secure Spaces module if you purchase with AppSumo, which is definitely a great buy, because
which has 100 GB per user.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, so just clarifying the account limit. So I think overall really good. Everything is so good. And guys, do check out the Product Hunt launch. And let's see. I think there's one question that popped out. Oh, just saying hi to me and hi back. So yeah, so do check out Sealit on Product Hunt, and if you like it, you can vote or you can comment. It's completely up to you. But just to let you know that actually you can use Sealit for free, even on Slack. So you can get a free Slack account and the free Sealit account. Test everything out before you do anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And just as the final note, obviously we'd love your support in Product Hunt, but by no means are we encouraging or enticing you to upvote. That's completely up to you. Definitely have a look, because you'll find some great marketing material there, including our new product video and a whole bunch of different things that we we talk about our products. Just definitely have a look at the product homepage, but only upvote or comment if you feel inclined to do so. If you're happy with the product and you've been there. Otherwise skip ahead and look at something else.
Yes.
In any case, thank you so much for your time, guys. Very much
And
appreciated.
thank you, Lazar. Thank you, Maria, for your time. And we
Thank
see
you
you
so
next
much.
time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.